Version 3.4 brings a major first for Honkai Star Rail, a brand new banner system just for the Fate Collab characters Saber and Archer. It's separate from the usual banners, with its own rules and pity. But that's not all. Feain leads the limited banner lineup, and he's joined by some surprising reruns. Not all of them work well with him, but one in particular might be the perfect match. In this video, we'll break down how the new system works, who's coming back, and who actually fits with Fein's unique kit. Save up to 25% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description. So, let's unpack this starting with the collab, because this is the first time Honkai Star Rail has done anything like this. According to both Dimbreath and Sakura Haven, Saber and Archer will not share their pity with the usual event banners. That means if your 70 pulls into your standard banner pity, it won't matter here. You're starting fresh, but the mechanics are still the same. 50-50 system for the character banner. 75-25 on the light cone banner. The structure is identical, but the pity history is isolated. What this tells us is pretty significant. If Hoyoverse went as far as to build a completely separate banner system, this likely isn't a one-time experiment. It strongly suggests more collaborations are planned down the line. I don't want to speculate too far ahead, but just think about the possibilities. Collabs could become a recurring thing, and that means players will need to start managing pulls across two parallel ecosystems. Now, shifting over to the standard limited banners, the character lineup is honestly kind of wild. We're looking at Feain, Sunday, Triby, and a rerun of Sparkle. Feain is clearly the centerpiece this time around, a physical destruction unit, and easily one of the most complex characters we've had. His entire playstyle revolves around building core flame stacks by being targeted with abilities. Once he hits the threshold, he activates his ultimate and enters territory mode, locking out all allies, giving enemies physical weakness, and taking multiple consecutive actions with fixed speed. During this solo phase, he uses a different resource system, Scourge and Ruin, to unleash enhanced attacks. The phase ends with a massive area of effect physical strike called Final Hit. He's not a passive DPS. You need precise support timing, resource control, and smart rotations to make his burst window count. If you like high-risk, high-reward mechanics, Feain is your guy. And what makes things interesting is how different the rerun characters are when it comes to actually supporting him. On paper, Sunday, Triby, and Sparkle are all strong harmony units, but they're not equally effective when paired with someone like Feain, who brings such a unique transformation-based playstyle. Sunday, for starters, is hands down the best synergy partner for Feain. He's an imaginary harmony unit who buffs a single ally and their summon, but even without a summon, Feain still benefits heavily. Sunday's skill gives the target immediate action and increased damage, and more importantly, it triggers core flame generation just by targeting Feain. That speeds up his territory setup dramatically. His ultimate regenerates 20% of Fein's max energy and buffs his critical damage based on Sunday's own stat, which stacks beautifully with Fein's multi-turn burst phase. Even better, Sunday's talent adds critical rate, and his technique can preload 50% bonus damage on Feain before entering territory. In short, Sunday was practically built to boost this kind of solo carry. Triby, meanwhile, is trickier. She's a quantum harmony support focused on follow-up attacks and resistance penetration. Her skill boosts all-type resistance penetration, which Feain definitely benefits from, and her talent gives you extra AoE quantum damage every time an ally uses their ultimate. But here's the catch. Feain disables the team during his territory state. That means Triby can only contribute before he transforms, not during. So, while she adds some nice setup utility and passive damage beforehand, she effectively goes offline during the phase when Feain is doing all the work. She's not a bad pick, but she's not optimal if you're trying to build entirely around Fein's solo burst window. And then there's Sparkle. She's still one of the strongest general-use harmony units in the game. Turn push, critical damage buffs, and extra skill points all in one kit. But when it comes to synergy with Feain specifically, her value is more about resource stability than direct buffing. She doesn't interact with Core Flame, and her quantum-focused bonuses don't do much for a physical unit. That said, if you're running Feain with a second support who burns through skill points, like Sunday or Huohuo, Sparkle can absolutely smooth out your rotation and help your team stay flexible. But if you're looking for buffs that actually amplify Fein's territory phase, she's not the top choice. So if your goal in 3.4 is to go all in on Feain, Sunday is by far the most relevant rerun to look at. Triby and Sparkle are strong characters in their own right, but their synergy with Feain is limited to support before the action really begins. Now, obviously, none of this is officially confirmed by Hoyoverse yet, so things can still change before 3.4 launches. But the sources, Sakura Haven and Dim Breath, have both been reliable for multiple patches now, and when they agree on something this specific, it's usually worth paying attention to. If anything does change, I'll update you before the patch goes live. So what do you think? Are you more excited about the Fate collab with its separate pity system, or are Sunday and Triby the real stars for you? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious how you're planning your pulls this time. Save up to 25% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.